Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Very excited about today's video. We are doing a simple kind of no makeup type of look. Is that even a thing anymore? Do they call it that these days? Basically, we're doing a natural makeup look using minimal products. This one is all about nice, healthy, glowing skin, really good brows, and kind of natural everywhere else. I will be using minimal products. I have just a handful of products here. These are the things I most like to reach for when I'm going for this type of a look. You guys probably know how much I love playing with eyeshadow palettes, but believe it or not, this look is created using no eyeshadow palettes. I do love how this one turned out. Hopefully you guys are excited about it. Before we jump into the video, I want to welcome any new visitors to my channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up and of course subscribe before you leave. But we do have a full face of makeup to put on today. Don't be deceived by the simpleness of it, so we better jump right in. Alright, so we're going to kick things off. I'm not going to be using a primer today. Today's look is all about kind of minimal product. I did, however, moisturize my skin really well this morning. But today for my base product, I'm going to use the Misha BB cream. I love using a BB or a CC cream on days when I really want more of a skin-focused look. I just generally think that they are a little bit easier to use. They tend to blend in a little bit better with my natural skin tone because they're not quite as heavy of coverage. I do still think they have pretty good coverage though, and that goes for this one. It also goes for a couple of my other favorites, including the new one from e.l.f., which I've really been loving, and the IT Cosmetics CC Cream Illumination. So this one is in the shade number 27, which is a really good match for me. And I do like applying this one with my fingers. I just think warming it up on your skin makes it really blend in better. Plus it can be a little bit faster as long as you don't mind the mess on your hands. I always keep a towel handy just to wipe my messy fingers off. So you could stop there. Actually, you could even skip the foundation or BB cream if you wanted to and just go in and conceal areas that you need coverage. I like using a base product first because I do have a lot of areas to cover, and I find if I am doing a concealer only look, I end up having to use too much concealer, and concealer is more pigmented. So if you use a lot of concealer, things can start to look kind of heavy really quickly. So I like doing a light to mid coverage BB or CC cream or even foundation, and then just adding a little bit of concealer where I need it. And I'm also using this on my eyelids today because I do want to cancel out some of the redness up here. I'm just going to use my finger. I do think using a sponge is a little bit faster, but I like using a finger on concealer on days when I really want my skin to look flawless. There's something about a finger that I think works really well. It gives you the perfect level of coverage without getting too much product, but it also blends really well. It really warms the concealer up and really presses it into your skin. So I feel like this makeup look is going to be because it is a little bit lighter, a little bit softer, it's going to be very spring appropriate, which is actually quite inappropriate for the weather that we've been having. We actually just got like 6 inches of snow this morning. I know there are people all over the country that are buried under snow. Hope that you guys have power and are doing well. So I do want to use just a little bit of powder to set that in place before it creases on my eyelids. I'm just going to take a little bit of this powder right here. This is the face palette I'm going to be using today. It's from Profusion. It has a basic powder in here. It has 2 shades of bronzer or contour, then a couple of shades of highlight. I'm just going to take the powder shade right here, and I'm just going to run that on my eyelids, because if I do not set them down and I'm using concealer as a base, they will crease. Alright, so I feel like my skin looks really nice and healthy. Let's add a little bit of bronzer or contour. So I'm going to take this same Profusion palette. We're going to take a mixture of these 2 shades right here. The one I have, by the way, is the Highlight Contour number 1. I think they have a number 2 version that has deeper shades than this one. I will link them down below if I can find them for you guys. So I'm going to take my Alter Ego number 1 brush. It's just kind of a basic powder brush. I'm going to mix these 2 shades together right here. I'm slowly just going to build up a little bit of color here, kind of right up my cheekbone line, and then I'm just blending it upwards. I don't want this to be too defined. I don't want it to be too obvious. I want it to be very natural looking, so I'm trying to be a little bit more light-handed than I maybe normally would. And then with what's left on my brush, I'm just kind of running it along my temples just to add a little bit of shape to my face. Make it look a little bit kind of sun-kissed. Oh, I wish it was. I can't wait to get some sun. It's funny because I try very hard to stay out of the sun because, you know, aging and all that stuff, but I do still crave just sitting outside at a park or at a baseball field with a baseball hat and sunglasses on, just soaking up a couple of sun rays. I hope there's baseball this summer. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit more of these two shades, and I'm going to run just a little bit kind of over the bridge of my nose and a little bit right kind of where I would put a blush. I want my bronzer to look like it really is. I did get a little heavy-handed right there. I might have to go and blend that out a little bit, but I want it to look a little bit more natural, like it actually came from a little bit of a sunburn. Moving on to highlighter. So I do want to go a little heavy-handed on the highlight, not too heavy-handed. I want it to still look somewhat natural, but this is supposed to be a very glowy kind of makeup look. So I am going to use a mixture of these two highlights right here. So this gives you 3 shades of highlight, a classic kind of champagne, sort of gold champagne, a more pink tone champagne, and a very kind of true gold. Let me just swatch these 3 for you guys. These are pretty though. I do like the formula of these. I'm going to use these 2 right here. I'm taking those on my Luxie tapered highlighter brush. I'm going to start in the center of my face and then add this kind of a little bit more widespread than I typically would, but there's not as much on my brush, so I'm not being as precise, but I'm trying to be a little bit more light-handed with it, so it looks a little bit more natural. I take a little bit on my brow bone. A lot of this I am going to be covering up with a cream blush, but I want a little bit of a base of kind of shimmer right there just to give me a little extra glow. Now let's go in with a bit of cream blush. I'm going to take my Moly cream blush. This one is in the shade Nude Kiss. I'm going to take a little bit of this on just my center finger. I'm going to rub my 2 fingers together and then just slowly start to kind of build this up on each side. Just right on the apples of my cheeks. This does start off looking a little bit strong and pigmented, but as you kind of press it in, as you blend it, as you go around the edges, it starts to kind of fade, not fade, but it starts to really blend in and look more natural. It doesn't take long, as you can see, it blends out pretty quick. Now I'm going to take a clean beauty sponge. I did dampen this. I'm just going to run this along the edges. Alright, let's now move over to brows. I'm going to start off by putting a little bit of my e.l.f. Shape and Stay wax in my brows. Then I'm going to take just a spoolie and really start brushing these upright. I want my brows to be really feathery. I know this looks very simple, and there are times where I'll do this really quickly, but if you want this to be like a look and you want it to look a little bit more flawless, I think spending a little bit more time on your skin, a little bit more time on your brows especially, will pay off in the end. I think really good brows and really nice skin is kind of the secret to a really nice no makeup kind of look. So I want my brows to be really nice and feathery, so I'm spending some extra time brushing them upright. So I'm going to go in with this same brow pencil. This is my Ulta Beauty brow pencil in the shade Ash Taupe. Just going to run a little bit of this through this front section here, and I'm kind of going in like diagonal strokes. And then a little bit up here through my arch. Okay, now I'm going to set those in place with this. This is my e.l.f. Wow Brow. This one is in the shade Taupe. And I'm going to take just a little bit of this and run it through my brows. So last night we had a winter weather morning or advisory. I woke up this morning, there was no snow yet, so I think everyone was a little disappointed. Then right as my kids were getting ready for school, it started snowing so hard. I think it dropped 3 or 4 inches within like 2 hours. So I've got a couple of kids today that are super excited, and I have one junior in high school that is probably near tears at school because baseball season is supposed to start soon, and we haven't had snow all year. Okay, so let's move on to the rest of the eyes. I'm going to keep things pretty simple with the eyes. I'm just going to be using this same palette that I used on my face from Profusion. I'm going to take my Rephr number 16 brush, and I'm going to go into these 2 shades again and just start kind of doing a wash of color all over through my crease. Not being too precise. Again, I want this to look pretty, almost imperceptible. And by the way, there are so many different face palettes you could use. This one is a great option if you have access to Profusion. I think I bought this in a Walmart about a year ago for $4.98, so it's super affordable if you have access to that. But you could also use Smashbox Cali Contour Palette. Is a fantastic face palette. I love my Benefit palette. This is the one I almost used today, but thought I'd go with this one because it is a little bit more affordable, and it's been a while since I've used my Profusion face palette. I actually have 3 of these palettes, 3 different versions of these, and I love the Profusion face powders. I think they're kind of underrated. So now I'm going to go into this darker gold shimmer, and we're going to run that with the same brush all over the center of my lid. I'm going to use a really nice fluffy brush because I want this to be just a soft wash of shimmer. I don't want it to be too intense or reflective. Alright, and now I'm going to take a smudge brush. Actually, let's go with this brush right here. This is from Alter Ego, the number 10 brush, and I'm going to take a mix of these 2 browns again. I do want to build up just a little bit of shadowing under my lash line here. Just going about halfway across. Okay, so you want to take a little bit of liner. I'm just going to line my upper waterline. This is a great way to put liner on, to define your eyes without anyone being able to tell that you're actually wearing eyeliner. It just adds like a touch of subtle definition. Alright, now let's add mascara next. Now for mascara, when I'm doing a natural makeup look, I'm very particular about the type of mascaras I like to use. I don't like to use mascaras that are too intense or dramatic, and particularly those ones that make my lashes look too wild. I like mascaras that look a little bit more defining and separating. So a couple ones that I really love, some that I don't have. The Maybelline Lash Sensational is a good one. That's a really good defining and separating mascara. This one right here from Tony Moly, this Double Needs mascara, is a good one. It's another one that gives really good definition. It doesn't give me a lot of volume, but it gives really good definition and separation. The Urban Decay Perversion mascara is a good one. Also the Bare Minerals Lashtopia mascara is a pretty good one. And I would say even the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, although that one, if I apply too many coats, it can start to look a little bit too voluminous, too unnatural, but just 1 or 2 small coats of that mascara will give me really good separation as well. Today we're going to use the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I did already curl my lashes really well. This normally is not one of my favorite mascaras, but it is really dark and black, and it does give really good kind of natural volume and separation. It doesn't look too unnatural, which again, normally I like a mascara that's going to give me a ton of volume and separation, like the It Cosmetics Superhero mascara. That mascara is going to make your eyelashes look like they have a lot of mascara on them. Makes them very thick, very, very long, very dark. But for this type of a look, I kind of think a little less is more. Really trying to concentrate building up some of that mascara on this outer corner because I want it to kind of lift my lashes. Just on that corner, give them kind of a cat eye sort of almond look to them. So I'm kind of brushing them in that direction as well. Seems like I maybe saw Lisa Eldridge or someone do this trick one time. I don't want to take full credit for it. And then just a little bit to the lower lashes. Again, I'm going a little bit lighter on my mascara, especially on the lower lashes. I don't want them to be too coated, so I'm really just coating the roots. So I like this mascara, but I honestly think I like the Maybelline Lash Sensational just as much, if not more, and I think that one actually holds a curl a little bit better than this one. I am dying to try the new Maybelline Sky High mascara. It's been out of stock in my drugstore for several weeks. Mascara is one of those things. I hesitate to try a lot of new mascaras because I really hate to try one out that I don't end up liking and using. I like to use up my mascaras, so when I don't, it makes me feel, I don't know, wasteful. It's one of those products that I don't like to waste. Let's move on to lips. For my lips, today I'm actually going to be using my cream blush on my lips. So I already exfoliated them with my e.l.f. lip exfoliator. I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger. I've actually been doing this a lot lately, ever since I discovered how much I love the Flower Beauty Gel Crushes on both my lips and my cheeks. I've been trying other cream cheek products out on my lips as well. So I'll just take a little bit and kind of lightly run it on the top and the bottom just to give them a little bit of like a base color. Then I will take a lip liner. This one here is the LA Girl Nonstop Nude, and I'm just going to line just right here under my the center of my lower lip. And last but not least, I'm going to add a little bit of gloss. I'm going to take my Maybelline Lifter Gloss. This one is in the shade Silk. Alright guys, here you have it. This is it for my easy, effortless, using minimal makeup products makeup look. I know this is not the most creative or most exciting makeup look that you guys have probably ever seen me do, but it is one that I often do when I'm in a hurry, and who doesn't need a good go-to makeup look when they're in a hurry? And there's just something really flattering about a simple makeup look. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you guys are doing well. Hopefully those of you that are covered under snow or ice are surviving. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. One more reminder, if you have not yet subscribed, I hope that you will consider doing that before you leave. But that is all I have for you guys today. I will see you all in my next video. Bye. What is it with me and the clapping? I can't stop. I can't stop. Every video I tell myself no clapping, and I can't not do it. I've thought about wearing gloves, and then I realized that would just look ridiculous. I wonder if they make invisible gloves, like with padding on the palms. There's an idea for Shark Tank.